Welcome to my screencast titled Amongst the Turkana. It is based on the article with the same name written by J.P. Davidson for Planet World. Before we get started on the Turkana tribe, I would like to take a look at Africa first. The continent counts 52 countries in which 1,500 languages are spoken. That amount of languages has to do with the great amount of tribes, many of which have their own language. The Turkana language is one of the 69 in Kenya, while other countries like Tanzania, Congo and Nigeria count even more. This has created some linguistic problems, and for political and social cohesion, it's important that you can understand one another, especially in countries where tribal allegiances are much more important than the allegiance to their country. History has proven time and again that this could be a serious problem. Well, this is the reason why many countries in Eastern Africa adopted Swahili as their lingua franca, a language used when both speakers don't share a mother tongue. Swahili itself was originally a language used for trade and a mix of local dialects with European and Arabic elements. Governments adopted it in hope it would eliminate tribal differences and unite the country. In most Eastern African countries, it's a language used in schools and the most common language along with English. That being said, let's take a look at the Turkana. The Turkana is the name of a nomadic tribe living in northern Kenya and southern Sudan, more specifically around Lake Turkana. Their numbers are roughly around 500,000, which is quite big for a Kenyan tribe. The Turkana are strong and fearsome warriors and stood against colonization for over 100 years, even so that they were left alone till somewhat late in the 20th century. Because of this, there was little to no influence on their traditions and lifestyle. Their survival depends on rainfall and livestock. Livestock is of great importance for the tribe and is representative of one's wealth. They defended with their lives and steal the livestock from neighboring tribes, called raids. Women wear an extravagant number of beaded necklaces that are never taken off to represent their wealth. In fact, there were so many that their necks are invisible. They are a monotheistic people with creator Akush, bringer of rain, as their one god. The Turkana speak their own language and have little use for Swahili. All trade with non-Turkana shopkeepers happens in Swahili, but more as a practical necessity. Most Turkana aren't very fluent in the language. At times they are changing, however, and the Turkana are being brought into modern Kenya through education. The government-run schools teach in Swahili and sometimes English, but not at all in Turkana. As a consequence, this could lead to the Turkana eventually losing not only their language, but also their identity. It's not a dilemma for the older generation. The idea that there is anything more important than Turkana land and the Turkana language and customs is unthinkable. Their children, however, will have to take on education if they ever want to be involved in Kenyan society or follow progress. If not, they will remain outsiders. One of the key factors in preserving a language is creating a script. The Turkana have a script through Catholic missionaries that is taught at the mission primary schools. But unless their language is adopted by the state system too, it seems it is never going to provide a realistic alternative to Swahili. The language is also inseparable from their culture. Their culture is unusually rich in mythology and songs and are of course deeply connected with their language. It's evident to say that the language is their culture. Well, hopefully the Turkana way of life will be around for many more years to come.